Hello, once again, everyone. I'm your host, Ray Shasho, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends, brought to you by the Rockstar Chronicles, Series 1, my new book, featuring over 45 intimate conversations with the greatest music legends the world will ever know. It's available now at bookbaby.com and amazon.com. Guitarist Gary Richrath was an integral part of classic rockers REO Speedwagon, as his soaring guitar lines helped propel such classics as Take It on the Run, Golden Country, and Riding the Storm out. While Gary is sadly no longer with us, his music continues to live on as part of Richrath Project 313 and a brand new album, LA is Mine. The album is set for its worldwide release August 6th, which is already today, as a matter of fact, and it is available. It can be sampled on YouTube. It's available at amazon.com. Michael Janz started the REO connection when he became lead vocalist and frontman for the legendary Gary Richrath, former lead guitarist, songwriter for REO Speedwagon. They toured together for over a decade as the Gary Richrath Band, playing the songs Gary had written for REO Speedwagon, as well as Richrath tunes and songs Michael had written with Gary. Michael and his band Richrath Project 313 continue to honor the memory of the late Gary Richrath at every show. Please welcome singer, songwriter, musician for Richrath Project 313, Michael Janz, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Ray. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Where are you Zooming from today?
I'm actually in Thousand Oaks, California today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're in Florida,
Cool.
in the Tampa Bay area, home of the champion Lightning and the champion Bucks, World Series Rays. They're calling us Champa City.
Yeah. You know, I remember playing down there at the Rocket Club in Tampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
That was a cool place to play. I remember that.
Yeah, Tampa's a pretty cool music place. A lot of people came from here. Stephen Stills, Joe Lala came from here. A lot of people came from here. So what was Gary like? You were with him for a long time.
First of all, Gary was a great guy. I mean, he was just a great person, great to be around, a lot of fun. Had some great memorable moments with him, and right. That's the start off. And then he was an incredible guitar player, and I was fortunate enough to get to play with him for the time I did, and write and record with him, and release songs with him. And I think his time ended way too quickly, and I'm trying to show people out there there was still some stuff that was left unheard.
Exactly. How much more material is there with you guys?
Well, there's still some more things that I have that are stuffed away, but we started working on this project, and we wanted to get a little bit out there just to see how people liked it. And
right.
So far, it's been going really good. I mean, we have this is the same format that I had set up with Gary when we played together, and it's set up just like REO, because Gary would always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
right.
That's how it is,
Yeah, I saw REO. It was a long time ago, man, but Gary was there. It was REO Speedwagon backing up Aerosmith and Slade. Long time ago. A great concert.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah, that was probably before my time.
I hate to hear that, man.
Sorry. No, I was though. I mean, there was I grew up listening to some of the stuff, and I was trying to make it in the business. So we went out. I'm actually back in my town. I live in the Midwest now, but I come out to Thousand Oaks a lot. That's where I lived. That's where I met Gary.
Right.
So I've been coming back here for years in Thousand Oaks. And, I can just say I grew up listening to him, and I met him out here. And the next thing you know, I was playing with him, and it was like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever, So I was pretty excited about it.
I hear a lot of stories like that. You end up being with your heroes,
right,
that you grew up with. It's
sure
incredible stories.
yeah, like I said, it was a weird thing how we came across each other and met each other and started working with each other. And it just was all the timing thing, you know. I mean, at one point in time, when he was doing demos, he was still doing demos for REO when I first met him at the end of 88, 89. And he just, popped in and started jamming with my band here in Thousand Oaks, because we moved out here from the Midwest, to try to get a record deal. And, we were doing everything we possibly could. And then eventually we meet Gary, and I didn't know what I was going to do. What part of the thing I was taking. I was like, sing with him or do my stuff or do something different. And it ended up being where I was his front man and lead singer. So it's the world changes all the time coming out here. I'm glad I did, though.
Yeah.
So,
Michael, you're a great vocalist, man. You got some pipes on you.
thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, you can play with any band, actually, if you want to.
I've had a lot of experience doing it, and I just had this natural ability to belt it out there, And Gary brought out a lot of that from me. He just always just, because I, believe it or not, I was doing more of a Rush tribute before I met Gary,
Right.
And I played bass guitar, and Rush and Yes and the progressive rocks was starting to influence me a little bit. And I met Gary, and he's like, "You got to put that bass down and start playing guitar." And I'm like, "I can't play guitar." And he's like, "You got to play guitar," So he forced me into playing guitars, and the next thing you know, it was really cool, because all the melodies and the songwriting ability really comes out when you're playing, guitar more than bass, And my vocal just went up, like skyrocketed.
Yeah, Gary taught you how to play rhythm, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started off, his infamous chords were G, C, and D, and that's like, take it on the run. That's take it on the run right there. So, and so I brought that technique into my songwriting. Obviously you can hear that, but that the new album that came out it's all set up like that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the new album. I just had a couple more questions about Gary.
Sure.
Real quick. You were in another interview, and you said if you had to ask a question to an interviewer about what you would ask about Gary, and you said, why did he leave REO Speedwagon?
Yeah.
You know the answer to that?
The answer, there's several answers to it. And I think I said, read the book.
Read the book.
Because I know another guy's putting a book out, but I think that I'll have another book coming out a few years later on down the road. So.
Oh, you got to. Everybody puts out a book. I was trying to get the short version,
Yeah, the short version is read the book, because I'll wait till I'm going a little bit differently in a different direction when I decide to put that book out. So
okay, all right, we got you, no problem.
Yeah.
Where were you? What happened when he passed away? I know that he kind of went in there with some stomach issues or something, right?
From what I understand, from what I understand, he had some stomach issues, but Gary had a lot of demons that he was dealing with, and right. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good thing, and it was what it was. And I can honestly say that he wasn't a very happy man anymore. I mean, his life and his lifeline was REO Speedwagon. I mean, that's what it was. And obviously, and people that listen to REO Speedwagon say that's Gary. That's Gary's
right.
band. And I think when he takes that away from a person, they tend to get a little sad. And that's, to put it in a nutshell. And I think he was pretty depressed about the whole thing. When we played and we started touring together, we toured nonstop, and that's what he wanted to do, and that's what people loved to see him out on the road.
Right.
And that's what kept him going. And as soon as he stops, and I think that's where a lot of the depression got into him. Sadness.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of depression among musicians. They're very hard on themselves, as far as their skills. And, I've talked to so many musicians that aren't here anymore because they ended their lives, and it's very, very sad, especially the 90s rockers, like Chris Cornell and those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I just saw a thing, you tend to see those different things like Janie Lane and stuff like that, because I mean, the era that when I moved out to LA, was in the 80s. And that's
Right.
when those bands, and I consider myself a fortunate person that I made it through all that.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that, I kind of changed my life around from seeing all the people around me that, because I had a lot of fun and I don't regret it. I really had a lot of fun during that time period.
Mm-hmm.
But there comes a time when you just have to stop.
Exactly.
You have to stop.
Right.
And then you have to realize what's real, and I guess if you do it young enough, you still have time. But if you keep doing it and keep carrying it on, that's when you end shortly, and it's not good. So
yeah, fortunately, I have a cousin that we were very close. We went to all the shows together and everything growing up, and he passed away from drug addiction. And you're right. Me and him did a lot of things together, but I stopped. He kept going, and I knew when to stop.
right.
So yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is.
Well, like that being said, just let me say one thing.
Mhm.
The album that we're putting out, The LA Is Mine, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Right.
There's a song on there that Gary brought to me toward the end, like when we worked together.
Right.
And the song that we used as the single on there, that the first single out there, is Help Me Save Me From Myself.
Right.
And it kind of will tell you the story, about the whole Gary thing and the people that have these same kind of things going on. And that was his song that he came up with. And I just added my pipes, as you call them, my vocals to it, because he loved the way I could sing.
Yeah.
And I put it all together. And I think that's one of the things that people need to listen to, because it helps.
Well, LA Is Mine, I gave it 5 stars. I love the album. It's a great album, man.
Great.
It includes 5 new originals, 3 new Gary Richrath songs with him on guitar, and re-recorded versions of Riding the Storm Out and Son of a Poor Man as bonus tracks, which were very, very, very cool. Never Give Up. That was written by you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Never Give Up. I wrote that song years ago. And then when we started working on the project, we actually started this project in like 2019.
Yeah.
And we were out in LA recording the first part of the album we recorded like 20 songs.
Right.
We were recording like crazy. And then COVID hit.
And
I didn't even record Never Give Up back then. I mean, I had it on demos, but then all of a sudden COVID hit, and we said, we got to do something for this COVID thing. We got to have something. So we put that one out and kind of put the whole concept of, hindsight is 2020 and the 2020 COVID thing. And, don't give up, just keep trying, and it's kind of like goes along with the Help Me Save Me For Myself and the whole concept, so it's a good song. It's a positive, the whole thing is supposed to be meant positive, and that's what we're here. That's what we're doing.
No, it goes, hindsight is 2020.
Exactly.
I love the intro.
Yeah. That was me.
That was you. I didn't know that.
I had a lot of technology on that one.
I like the line too. Looking back at a situation or an event and having a clear understanding of it and how things could have been done better. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's one of my favorite tunes on the album. I think it was well done. Of course, Help Me Save Me From Myself. You both wrote that. Very REO sounding. That's another favorite of mine. Yeah, it's a great tune. That was actually written in the 90s, right? Back in the 90s?
Well, that was when Gary brought it to me in the 90s.
Right, in the 90s.
And we did a demo on it. We did a couple demos, and we did it at my house. And and then, like I said, it was kind of a cool vibe to it. And then after he passed away, I said, let me see what I got here. And so I pulled this one out, and I said, hey, this one deserves some justice. Let's put it out there. And that's what we did. And I put my vocal technique on there and changed couple things around a little bit. And you have the proof there that it's all done. It's something. Yeah.
Heard it on the radio, very 80s sounding, awesome tune, another great song. LA Is Mine, I guess the title track written by both of you, very REO sounding. I mean, why LA Is Mine? Where that come from? The track.
Gary actually wrote that in the 70s when he first went out to Los Angeles.
Oh wow!
And when he was flying in on the plane, he saw the lights, and this was his first exciting moment out in Los Angeles, and he put a song together. That's what he did, and never did anything with it. And then he brought it to me, and myself and my drummer Tracy at the time, right when he split from REO, and we were working on other demos that he had.
Right.
And that was one of the ones we did. And I decided, hey, this is time for this one to go out there, because that was, in his opinion, more like a Riding the Storm Out anthem kind of song, because he plays all the way out on that one. The end of that song, that's his guitar all the way through. He played 12 string as the bed track, and then he played lead guitar on the way all the way out. That thing originally probably was 20 minutes long. I mean, we had to cut that out there a little bit because it was Gary going on forever. So and that's how he could do that. He could just go and go and go and go and go, and then so we try to. You can't do that on an album, obviously. So we decided to make it more of a song. So, and that's what you got there.
And then track 5, kind of a risque title for a song, "Shoot One for Free."
Yeah, that one's just you can put your mind onto that one. It's about having too much fun in the party days back in the whole life, So
yeah, another favorite. That's a rocker. That's a real rocker. That tune. Yeah. "Son of a Poor Man," another cool track. Of course, REO's song. Very, very cool. And then you slow it down a bit with "Let Me Alone Again," which you wrote.
No, it's "Let Me Love Again."
Oh, "Let Me Love Again." I'm sorry.
Right. That's like the ballad of the whole album. It's like a ballad, because that was one of the things. There's always a thing with Gary's a rocker, and like going to the REO things, Kevin was the ballad guy. But again, I've said this a lot of times today that Gary still had he could still write a ballad, but he was one heck of a rocker.
Yeah.
But he knew how to write a song, and he knew how to get a hook. That was his thing. And so that was a song that I decided to put on there as a combination of both. But it's definitely more of a ballad one.
Sure.
With a nice, it's got the Gary hook in there, if you can hear that.
Oh yeah.
Plays with the vocal.
And another slower track, "Tears of My Pain," which you wrote as well.
Right.
Another great song.
Thank you.
Yeah. "These Nights," another very cool track. And of course, it ends with "Riding the Storm Out," REO tune from, I guess, 1973, which was a very, very popular song. Now, is that a bonus track, or is that going to be on every CD, or how's that work?
It's on every CD, but it's kind of like a bonus thing. The thing is my engineer went back to listen to the way they did it originally in the studio. And Michael Murphy was the singer at that time for REO. And we tried to do it more like that. Yeah, I wanted to get the 70s feel for Gary, because that's his thing. Like when you go into demos and do demos with Gary, he was always doing stuff, real basic, but yet it was in the music that mattered, and that's how we did it. And that's how, if you listen to that track, I mean, I don't know if you've heard it yet, but it's it's just like it was in the 70s. And we're getting a lot of people that love that song, the way it was done that way.
Right.
And that like you'll hear the live version of it. Kevin does you get play for a version, and people switch it over to the Michael Murphy version. And this is kind of like a combination of everything. So
it's a great album, man. I love it. Any of the guys from REO heard this?
I'm sure they have, but I haven't heard anything. Pretty hard to hide it these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it's been listened to by many people.
Well, I'm going to promote the hell out of it, so eventually they will hear it.
Thank you. Let's get it spinning everywhere. That's what I say.
Yeah, let's make them jealous.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're going to get so jealous, but they might do something. I don't know.
Yeah, they might do something, right?
Something is the thing,
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I say wait to see the book, because the book, I'm going to give it a few years.
You're going to give it a few. You better start now, man.
Oh, I got it already started.
Good. Yeah. I may put you in my next book. I did the Rockstar Chronicles. You can see that or not? Cool. But it's over 45 intimate conversations with the legends. So I'll probably be sending you a request to see if you'd like to be in the book. I'm doing four series.
Sure, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we want to feature you in REO, of course. In the book. I don't have anybody from REO right now, so. What about touring? Are you going to be doing some tours or what?
Well, we started doing some shows right before the release. So we've been doing some spots to just kind of feel things out. And then we're scheduled to do at the end of the month, we're doing a Detroit show and a Dayton, Ohio show.
Okay.
And we'll be back in Illinois. And then we're going to be going down the East Coast, like October, November. And then we have some scheduled dates out west. So, and now the next week I have some meetings where how we're going to bring it all together to do a big tour. So,
oh, good.
we just wanted to get this thing out here, and like I said, we're pushing it like crazy, and we definitely appreciate your help. I mean, that was really nice of you. And
come to Florida, man.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. I just was told we might get Daytona Beach, one of the Harley festivals down there.
Right.
It's in March, I think.
Okay.
So we might get that one, which would be great because I mean we played those before. We just did a Harley festival in Wisconsin, and it was just incredible. It was great show, and we've been doing different shows here and there, spot shows here and there, just to kind of get the album going. Because you know, some of the songs, you know, we haven't played live, but we're starting to do it now. So, you know, we play all the REO stuff. We've been doing it for a long time, and the Richrath stuff from Only the Strong Survive. And now we're working on the new stuff, and the new stuff's going over great. I mean, people are singing the lyrics that right around with heard it on the radio for the first time. It just grows on them. So it's pretty cool.
Well, it's like watching it is a new band, you know.
Right. I mean, it is. Yeah. Dennis, my guitar player, it's unbelievable. He grew up idolizing Richrath, and he plays it to a T. It's unbelievable. He's so into it. It's unbelievable. Like I said, he idolizes Gary. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys live, because all these songs should be played live. I'm sure they're going to be sounding better live. You know,
they do, and people love it when they just hear it. And you know, we don't track anything. We don't do anything like that. We're all live band, and that's one thing that a lot of these guys nowadays don't do that like that anymore. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's live, and you know, there's always those times. You know, that's part of it. That live rock and roll. You know, you make a mistake here and there, but that's what it's all about. You know,
that's what it's about. Yeah, mistakes are good. It's a good thing to have mistakes in there.
Yeah.
Before I go on, how much time do you have so I can just kind of know? Do you have another interview after this, or?
Yeah, I got one pretty shortly, probably in the next, I would say 5-10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know what to ask next. One thing
Thanks for asking. I got short on I didn't get short. I didn't know I was happening this quickly. So I appreciate the time. Thank you.
No problem. You collect cars as a hobby, don't you?
Yeah.
What kind of cars and how many do you have? Are you like Jay Leno, or?
I'm a four-man sports car guy, you know. No, I collect stuff from the 80s, you know. I mean, like I've had a few Fieros, some Cadillacs, you know, different cars like that. Yeah, you know, just stuff that I like to putz around with. It's something to keep my mind off the business of music. I love music, but sometimes the business is overwhelming. You know?
Right.
No, I can go out and work on my car in the garage and not have anybody bother me. So.
That's cool. Well, I guess they were a lot easier to work with back then too. Now that everything's computerized, right?
Yeah, I have no idea now. So I just thought, you know, it's even, you know, and you know, getting up there a little bit now, it's hard to crawl around on the ground. You don't want to be doing that.
I know. It's true.
I got to call the road crew in for that one. Want to make some money today? And we're on.
Yeah, you can supervise.
Yeah.
Do you have any muscle cars?
No, actually, I have a lot of friends that have them, but you know, I'm not a muscle car kind of guy. I just like doing the 80s is my time period.
The 80s, okay.
And I lived in Southern California at the 80s period, so I was really into a lot of 80s stuff. So that makes me happy. I enjoy it, and that's what I do.
Yeah, that's a good hobby. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Not very mechanically inclined when it comes to cars, just the simple things, and that's it.
Sure.
All right, Michael, here's your final question.
Okay.
If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be? I get some very interesting answers. And I know you mentioned Diane Warren at one time.
Right. And you know, well, again, it's like there's so many people out there that you could come up with. But and here's another thing when I played with Gary, you know, he actually did, she worked with him on some songs. And, you know, like I said, and since that time period, she's untouchable. I mean, she's writes for everyone. Yeah. So like I said, you know, between her and, you know, Mutt Lange or something like that, you can hear their stamp on everything. You know, I mean, you know, Shania Twain. I mean, one time I was listening to a Shania Twain show, I said, I know that song sounds familiar, you know, and you know, it's like the heavy metal guy is writing that song, you know, so it's just like, you know how it is. So I would still have to go with that one because I've had influence by everybody. I mean, I used to be a big Rush fanatic, and I was a Yes fanatic, and I love Steve Walsh from Kansas and Gary Livgreen from Kansas. You know, I mean, those guys, The Wall, or you know, Song for America. I love that stuff. You know, and so I don't know. I still have to go with Diane Warren because I don't think I'd be able to ever get to that. You know, I'd love to, but I don't know how that would be. You know, I don't know if she'd say, "Oh my God, this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. Let me just." I don't have my checkbook with me. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just lost Robbie Steinhardt, which was
yes, I did see that. Yes,
yeah. You know who I'm interviewing right after you? Wendy Dio.
Yeah. I've heard that name a couple times today already. Yeah. You know, I told one of the people I talked with before, Niji Management was actually when I was out in LA the first time. We did some showcasing with them at, I don't know if you're familiar, like there was a place called the Country Club in Reseda. Right. And like everybody played there, you know, that was the big place, the showcase place. And I went and met with Niji Management a couple times to do something with them. Nothing ever panned out with it, but I didn't even know who Wendy Dio was except for Ronnie James Dio, you know, and back in the day, you know. Yeah. And that was interesting, very interesting. Yeah. She's got a book coming.
Got a book out. Yeah. Ronnie died before the book was done, so she kind of helped finish it. Yeah. But Ronnie had a great voice. I mean, he goes way back to the doo-wop days. The
guy was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. Michael, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Let's keep in touch. I want to see your progress and what's going on. The album, 5 stars. Richrath Project 313. It pays tribute to the late great original REO Speedwagon, Gary Richrath. New album, LA Is Mine. You can purchase it now at Amazon.com. There's also a box set, right? Exclusive limited. Talk about that box set real quick.
The box set, when I stopped working with Gary after the 2000 thing, we stopped working for a while. I put together some new songs and re-released some of my songs that I did previously and the new songs off the Michael Janz Project 313. And we put that out, and you can buy that 10-song CD and then the new one, and you get a t-shirt, I believe, with it. It's like a combination Richrath Janz, you know, thing. It's a box set you can get. So you can get that only through the record company, Dark Star.
Okay, through Dark Star. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want more information about Michael Janz and Richrath Project 313, you can visit www.project313rocks.com. They're on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram.
Right. Yep. And you get streaming everywhere. You know, there's everything everywhere. You can just, when you go to the website, you'll be able to find everything. So
awesome. And I want to say special thanks to Hadley Wolfram with Chipster PR. I've been with Chipster for many years now. They're great. Love Chip.
Chip's doing a great job.
Chip's awesome. Yeah. And I want to thank him for arranging this interview with Michael today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Michael, take care, man. Keep on rocking. You're doing a great job out there.
All right, stay in touch, Ray. Thank you so much.
I sure will.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
All right, take care.